Awesome. Evening. What's up, y'all? How's it going? Welcome to another Lockdown Live chat. As usual, joined with my awesome co-host, the purveyor of all things Draconem, an incarnate deity in his own right, Mr. Alec Larson. How's it going?
What's up, man? Yeah, no, busy. It's been busy, so it's great to break the workday with having, a good chat about metal. So that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. New talent, new names, although familiar faces from other bands. Today we're joined with thrash metal purveyors all the way from Durban. We're joined here with Decayed. Over here today, we've got Reno on vocals and guitar. We've got bass, vocals, Johan, and we have lead guitar, Warren. How's it?
Yeah. How's it going, guys? How's it? Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Glad you guys could make it. So, yeah, I guess we kind of do this with every one of the bands that we bring in. But, yeah, I mean, seeing that you guys are a new band and whatnot, Raina, why don't you clue us up? It's a small little metal community in Durban, even more so when it gets to extreme metal. So how did you meet all the band guys, and how did you guys decide to go this route with Truth Decayed?
Well, myself and Warren have been friends for pretty much our whole lives. We grew up together. And yeah, I released my solo album sort of just before the lockdown. Also went on a short karting tour and everything like that. And then I hooked up with David Oosthuizen, and that was quite lucky, and that helped my solo album did pretty well. You know, got a lot of, if anyone knows Devo, it gets out there. So, but then, yeah, after that, like, I couldn't really gig or follow up with that. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do now, type of thing. And Warren and I just got chatting, and I saw him also before the lockdown. He was part of a Metallica Kill 'Em All tribute, which was pretty impressive. And like, I was very impressed with his playing that day. So kind of the seeds were planted then, and then through just boredom and lockdown and not being able to go further with my solo stuff, I was like, well, why don't we do something? And we just started like banging out some riffs and sending them to each other. And yeah, that was pretty much the start of it. And then Warren's responsible for everyone else joining the band. So yeah.
Sick. Well, I mean, you kind of touched on the next question, but Warren, you're in a band now that's like only coming to fruition during lockdown. And I can imagine that must have been like kind of, quite challenging, So maybe from your perspective, you can give like your views of how it's been starting up with this project during lockdown.
Well, I think to start off was actually, it's kind of weird. Reno phones me up. He says, hey, you want to get starting with do some metal and stuff? I said, yeah, I know, cool, man. So we started sending each other riffs, and it's just like fun. It was like, cool, man. It was get the ball rolling with this kind of thing. Unfortunately, the challenges of not being able to gig and stuff. So you're kind of unsure of whether, how far you want to push it, or, what really to do. So we thought, okay, what? We've got no actual material. So let's just start writing stuff and just see how it starts coming together. And so we just worked harder because we had nothing else really to do. And we were just jamming. And that was it, man. It was just, and the riffs we were playing was we liked it so much. So we just carried on. And it's just been great fun, and been great to hang out again as well. So yeah, jamming metal's great, man.
Metal brings everybody together, I guess,
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's pull this back to Reno, because we got to talk a little bit about the lyrics. I mean, obviously, we come from a pretty conservative country here in SA, and there are not a lot of bands, even in the metal community, that really delve into anything that forms like any form of like social or has any social or political commentary. Truth Decayed kind of does. I mean, your two recent singles especially like hit on some serious notes. So yeah, I mean, Reina, as far as like your musical influences, as far as songwriting? Where do you pull your lyrics from? Where is it, like literally just like society pushing down, or where does this come from? Because it's very different from your solo material.
It is,
lyrically.
yeah. Yeah, it's incredibly different from our solo material, and it's a whole different dynamic. I think beginning of a lockdown and working with Deva and all that, and the solo stuff going well, that was quite a positive vibe. And then you go deeper into a lockdown, and then thoughts start festering in your mind, and you're like, ah, shit, type of thing, So yeah, it was a bit of a 180. But I mean, we also in terms of influences and stuff, like we talk about it more from like an observational point of view. I think we're not particularly trying to preach to anyone or tell them how to live or how they should act, or that they're wrong in this way or that way or anything like that. So it's purely observational. The world's pretty screwed up enough already. I think we can all bear witness to that type of thing. So, and yeah, as far as those two songs go, Warren also wrote Apposing Direction mostly, and I wrote Modern Day Illusion. Johan's also writing some of the material now that we are taking on for the, the songs that will be on the album and that we're going to be performing live and stuff. But yeah, I think it was just a good time to sort of take on that type of thing. We do all listen, or most of us listen to Slayer and Sepultura and that type of stuff. So we kind of grew up with that. Yeah, man. But yeah, just the world's a pretty complicated place at the moment, and everyone's emotions and stuff are quite high online. So like, you just grab your popcorn and watch the world burn type of thing, So a lot of material to write from there, And that's what we've done, I think. Yeah, and it seems to work. Yeah, I hope so.
Sick. I want to direct some questions to the bassist of the band. Johan, how's it been jamming in this thrashy project? And, who were your musical influences growing up playing bass,
Playing bass. Well, that's not a tricky question. I've only been playing bass for 3 months. I started post lockdown. Warren said there's a position in a band if you learn to play bass. So I took up the challenge and I learned to play bass. Musical influences, I have quite a bit. Very sort of Iron Maiden. I didn't grow up like these guys with Slayer or any of that sort of metal. I grew up more with Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, more of the rock genres like Alice Cooper and Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard, and that's sort of more my growing up. So I think my input is a bit different. Also, I think it will show in my bass now that I can sort of play. It's I sort of know what I want to play, yet I just don't have the skills to play it yet. But yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah. It's been good fun. It's been a great. I've never been in a band, so this is a first for me. Everything is new that I'm doing. New instrument, new to everything, even new to songwriting.
That's really, really seriously impressive, because I mean, thrash is quite a fast musical genre. So for you to take on the challenge of like learning bass for a first time, and like also be a contributing member, like, got to give you props, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I was actually going to add onto what you were saying there, in terms of the sound of the band. It has a thrashy element, but it does actually have a little bit of those old, like, nuances from, like, the British invasion of, like, heavy metal, and, like, some of the more traditional. I would argue you guys are probably the most traditional heavy metal band we've had on the chat to date, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, like in terms of bass, getting your input now into, like, a band with a pretty strong stable of opinions. How's that been? I mean, do you have a set idea of things going forward, like in terms of what you're going to try contribute, or is it more like they give you the track and you have to figure out the rhythm over it?
Oh, the latter. They give me the track and I have to figure it out. No, well, look, Reno has helped a lot. I mean, he can play bass as well, so he's helped significantly for mainly the first 2 songs. But now with the new material, I'm pretty much on my own. We sit in the band room, we put it together, we record it, I take it home, and I go and write bass lines for it using, well, my skill first of all, and what I sort of know and what I want it to sound like. A lot of the times, especially for the new songs, is what I want it to sound like and what I can play are 2 different things at the moment, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you definitely got a lot of time on your hands here. Well, yeah, let's pull it back, because we did actually mention Devo Graphic PR earlier, so it'd be nice actually. I don't know who would be best directed to answer this, but the whole process of bringing on a PR agency, who came up with that idea?
That would be me. As I said, with the solo stuff, he helped a lot, and like the launch for my Howling Rush album was very impressive. So like, it just seemed a logical thing to do, especially considering that we can't gig or anything. Like, you know, this EP's been out for a short time and it's already been played all over the world. And I mean, if you ever worked with Devo, you know you can't keep up with the dude. He's crazy good at what he does. And I think it's something where, like, if a band can afford it and if it's in your budget and so on, it's definitely a good move, because, you know, the internet's a great tool, but it's also flooded. It's like if you're a graphic designer, same type of thing. It's a great industry to get into, but there's a million good graphic designers out there. So how do you stand out? And I think someone like Devo just helps you to sort of stand out, because, I mean, in South Africa alone, I mean, you spoke about Durban being a small metal scene, but even just within Durban, we have so many good bands here that, never mind Gauteng or Cape Town or whatever, you know. So yeah, you know, you got to do whatever you can to stand out. So I think that it was just a logical step forward. Dave was my manager there, he's my manager with this, and yeah, we're going with that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's shown huge results. I mean, most of the time, and I'm very much different with Alec when it comes to online. I tend to get like a blog or like a tweet notification, and it would be from a blog that's being, you know, pushed by Devo, because I think people forget that it's all about connections. None of us know these media officials, so, you know, that's the whole point of it. They give you the tools and then you market it as a band, because, again, like you say, you guys are in Durban, there's a hell of a lot of talent even there in Durban, but how do you get your voice out in a crowd, you know? So
exactly. No, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not sure who represents him directly, but like, just look at what Volvadinia did in a short space of time as well. Like, by the time I noticed them, they were already huge. Like, maybe they were, maybe we weren't, but like, I was just bombarded with them, you know. So and it's paid off. I mean, you look at them, they're crazy successful at the moment, doing really well. And yeah, that's what it is. It's talent's one thing, but you got to stand out. So yeah,
it's just awesome hearing some like, it's just good hearing other bands backing up the whole idea of a PR campaign, because as you say, you have to work within your budget, but it's almost like public relations and marketing techniques has to become part of the things that a band budgets on, almost as much as artwork or the mastering of the album itself. So
yeah, 100% there.
Yeah, agree. I agree completely. Yeah.
I'm going to pull this question out of the hat and give it straight to Warren. Let's talk gear, guitars, tunings, all that good stuff. Tell me what you're rocking at the moment.
Ah, cool, man. Ibanez guitars, my favorite. I've got an S series, which is my favorite one. LTD, pickups, EMGs, 81s. My Ibanez has Seymour Duncan Invaders. Those are pretty sick. Pedals, I've stripped down a lot. I'm using Amperos, or myself and Reno both are using Amperos, the high tones. They're small little pedals, but man, they pack a punch, eh? You got all the tones, everything you need on it. Plug straight into your laptop. You can record and do whatever you need to. Even our amps we've scaled down with. We've got little crate power blocks that we're using. you know, stripped down from using big valve heads, you know, if we go to a gig or something, we can just have all our equipment sort of in one bag and a guitar strapped over our back, and that's it. And they sound great as well. I'm all for solid state stuff as well. Yeah, and but it's so nice having the small amps and stuff. It's really great. Yeah, man.
You can hear it. You can hear it in the tone. Actually, like just in addition to what Alec was asking, while we're talking about the tone and the sound, you guys had the 2 singles recorded by Daniel Philogene. Maybe tell us about the whole process of the recording, like going into the single. Was it difficult, or did it just come straight 1 or 2 takes?
Honestly, it was very rushed, and I think that can be heard. That's not Daniel's fault, obviously. I mean, if you listen to the Howling Rush album, you'll see what he does when he's got time. But you know, we didn't really know what to expect. The first recording was just to be part of France the Planet's Metal Madness Week thing that he had going, which was also a competition. I mean, we didn't go into it for that. We just wanted to take the opportunity to get our music on the show and have it played with a special occasion. But then, so the first song, Modern Day Illusion, was recorded purely for that. And that ended up getting us the top 5 spots for the voter listener thing. So like, that was really like, what the hell? And yeah, I mean, that was incredibly rushed. And then we thought, okay, well, let's do the second song. We had Apposing Direction done, and the song was quite tight. And we thought, well, let's bring out our EP. It gives us something to just give us a bit of legs to get people to know who we are. And now we've got something that we can carry over while we're recording an album and hopefully starting to perform live and stuff when things get more open. And yeah, but it was very rushed. I can't give much detail into like deep things we went into it. We really just went in there, recorded it. Dan did as good a mix as he can. And yeah, compared to the process of my solo album, that was very long, but you know, you can hear it in the work. And yeah, so, but Daniel's very good at what he does as well. Super cool guy. And yeah, grateful to work with him.
Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah.
Back to Johan. Maybe you can talk to us about that animated music video, Apposing Direction. Maybe give us some insight into it and like how long the process was for shooting it, making it.
Well, that's an interesting question because we actually filmed that in one night. And then Linton, the creator of that video, he already had an idea. He listened to our song. He already had an idea and a concept and everything. And Raina and him negotiated, I suppose. And yeah, he came over. We filmed it in a night, a couple of takes here and there. And then we pretty much just left him and he went and made that. And he's sort of his image of the song. But yeah, I was very impressed with it. I'm super stoked with it. But yeah, we literally left him and he went and did it.
Oh yeah, and it came out wicked. If you guys haven't seen it, we'll include in a link roundabout now. Anyway, yeah, let's pull this back because I know Reino mentioned it when it comes to not much time to practice and all that, but did mention the fact of you guys getting ready for when the lockdown does end to, you know, start doing a bit of a tour and start, you know, performing. In the case of that, when that happens, Warren, when that day happens, how much practice is going to go down for the band before gigs? How much time you think is going to be needed before this is a well-oiled live machine?
Whoa. We did pretty much, I think. We would practice once a week. I set up a little jam room in my garage, so soundproof that. We practice once a week, and we sometimes get together at Raina's place on a Thursday nights. We'll run through some of the songs. If we need to write stuff, we will. But when we get into the practice room, we play. We don't stop until everything is sort of done and dusted, and we know where we stand with each other as well. You know.
We're ready. You can book us for an opening spot already.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested.
Sick.
I do think we should probably mention the missing member of the band who couldn't make it tonight. Brandon Nashi couldn't make it, but I mean, maybe you guys want to actually mention some stuff, because I mean, he comes from the whole Stigmata Dawn background, so it's a little bit more of a death type background. So how's it been working with him in terms of percussion for the band?
Wow.
Maybe you can answer
Crazy.
that.
That experience.
Oh, he's a machine, man.
Yeah, you've heard
he's out of this world there.
you've heard his double bass.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. Brandon's an enigma.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Sludge Underground were quite impressed, because they were the first to get him in an interview. Yeah, he's like a legitimate enigma, but he's such a cool guy, and like, it's actually probably known Johan the longest, I'd say, but wow, the guy can play. And he's sort of, one other thing I can say I like about him is he's forward. And I think that's important in a band. You need someone to be like stern, and like if something sounds crap or whatever, to come out and say that sounds bad or that sounds good. Like he's got no qualm. He'll just call it as it is. And I think that's a good quality to bring to a band.
Yeah, I think that's why some of our songs have actually progressed so quickly, because he's got a good concept of how it should sound as well, as regards to how many times you should be doing something, or not a riff just sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be a beast when it comes to performing live also. So it's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, that double bass is powerful. Yeah.
No, he's got so much energy as well. He doesn't stop. Like I say, when we get in the jam room, we play and play and play. Even though he's the one, doing the most work, sweating and banging the drums. It's to the next song, It's get everything done, polished, and
Sick. Rainer, you mentioned the future holding an album. So how's that process going at the moment? Are you guys writing, pre-production? Maybe you can take us into your sort of mindset going forward for Truth Decayed.
Well, album's definitely on the cards, as we said, and I'd say it's writing process now. At the moment, it's writing to have songs ready for gigs. So in terms of that, we're pretty good. We're pretty solid for a good opening set at the moment, and coming close to maybe being able to do a show on our own or whatever. And we're not sure on how many tracks we want yet. The one guy that reviewed us said he wanted 15. I don't know if we're going to do that, but we'll see. But we're on a writing process now. We have experimented with some different recording stuff as well. We're not sure exactly where we want to go with that. But at the moment, I'd say strongly recording. But we hopefully midway next year have it out. That's the plan. We'll see what 2020 has in store for us, or how 2021 turns out, if it's a friendly year or not. As long as we can, we're working. So if there's no restrictions, we'll just keep pushing forward. That's the goal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, musically speaking, can we expect a kind of similar tone to the? Well, I guess let's focus more on Opposing Direction as opposed to the first single. More of that, or do we have some more frantic style tracks and some more melodic style? Pull the curtain down.
All of the above.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Brandon brought groove into the band, because he's like that's where Opposing Direction sort of got its sound from. It was going to be a faster song originally. But I was away for the last practice like 2 weeks ago, and I came back and they wrote this banger, like proper fun old school 80s thrash, like crazy fast. So that's coming out, and the melodic side will also come back in, because it wasn't just Johan. We all listened to Maiden back in the day. And I think that comes through Warren and my guitar playing. But so some dual harmonies coming out. If it's classic and raw, that's probably what we're going to do. That's our sound. So I think you can count on that. But there'll always be little nuances and changes.
Well, I guess, let me, as we kind of round off this chat for the night, because it's been awesome having you guys here, want to kind of lay a bit of a hard question on Warren, because we've been now talking about the future of the band. What do you think the future of the South African metal scene holds after this lockdown? I mean, how's the clubs been out in Durban? How do you think the event industry is going to bounce back, especially for the metal scene?
I think for Durban, I'm a little bit unsure about Durban's. Durban's always been a bit quiet with regards to metal. We've only sort of had one place, which has been the Winston. But there has been another place, I think the German club. Well, they've had a few. They had 1 or 2 metal shows there, but nothing is like not a metal club. But I think after this lockdown, I think things are actually going to get pretty crazy out there. I mean, I think Joburg has already started with some bands, you know, picking up. There's Kill Frenzy that were playing a gig not so long ago as well.
Nameless Red.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I think in 2021, people are going to be so hungry for music and live shows, and definitely metal, because that's what they're dying to hear. And people, it's going to go crazy. 2021 is going to be a good year, I think. Really it is.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about it. A good feeling about it also moving forward. I'm obviously a bit concerned, but you know, I think the real people that are going to be winning are going to be the people attending the concerts, because I know all of you guys, yourself included, Alec, are just dying to get up back onto stage and thrash it out and just like blast. So yeah, we gotta be continue to watching the Truth Decayed templates and the press and the media, because I'm sure you guys have a lot of good stuff coming. But yeah, I think, Alec, that's it for another week. How do you think we did?
I think it's awesome, and I really appreciate the guys taking time out to come and talk shit and talk metal with us. So yeah, check out Truth Decayed.
Yeah, guys,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been really awesome having you guys here. Love the idea of showcasing some new talent, and yeah, we got to all be watching and listening with bated breath. So yeah, maybe we'll get you guys in the new year, and we can have a little bit of a follow-up.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, that wraps it up for another week of Lockdown Live Chats. We'll be back same time, same place on the interweb. And yeah, yes, that's it. Hope you guys have an awesome week ahead.
Is it?